I want to bring in National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications, John Kirby. John, in the U.S.'s assessment, what did these strikes accomplish?
We're still doing the assessment of the actual impacts on all these targets. That work is ongoing. So I think we'll have a better sense of the specifics of the damage done here in coming hours. But we know that the targets we chose were all valid, legitimate targets that went right at the Houthis' ability to store, to launch, and to guide, whether it's missiles or drones. So radar sites, ammunition sites, launcher sites, that kind of thing. So we're going to take a hard look here throughout the coming hours, and we'll have a better sense, I think, a little bit later today.
Do you know if people were killed? Because the Houthis are saying 5 people were killed. Do you confirm that?
We've seen some spurious reports on that, to be honest with you, but we can't validate and verify whether there were, in fact, casualties and how many there were. Again, these were all targets specifically chosen to get at Houthi capabilities, military capabilities, and obviously, with each and every target, we factored in and did everything we can to avoid any civilian casualties or any damage to civilian infrastructure.
Talk to us more about the timing here, because the Houthis have been launching attacks and disrupting commerce in the Red Sea since November. Why did the U.S. and the U.K. perform these strikes at this precise moment?
Well, look, this wasn't a decision we made lightly or quickly. In fact, if you go back to November and walk your way through up until just last night, I mean, everything we've done diplomatically and militarily has been designed to keep the tensions down and to convince the Houthis not to continue these deadly attacks. Whether it's work at the UN or issuing a multinational statement just a few days ago with a final warning to the Houthis, whether it's standing up a coalition of ships in the Red Sea to defend against these attacks. I mean, honestly, the president has really been leading an international effort here to convince the Houthis that they need to stop these attacks. But making a decision like this is not something that he took lightly. But in the wake of the almost unprecedented level of attacks that happened a couple of days ago, where multiple drones, multiple missiles fired at multiple ships in the Red Sea, the president determined after that attack had been defeated that now was the time to go after Houthi capabilities ashore.
I mean, you just said it. The Houthis were warned all along, and now they're vowing retaliation following the response from the U.S. and the U.K. Why didn't they heed the warning? Were they perhaps trying to lure the U.S. into further involvement in the region? Is this what they wanted?
I don't know that we can say that specifically. I'm not sure we know exactly what's their mindset here. We've seen the comments coming out of the Houthis today about retaliation. All I would say is I'd point them to the last sentence in the president's statement last night, which is that he reserves the right and will not hesitate to take further action to defend our troops, our ships, our sailors, our facilities, and, of course, international shipping, if that's what's required.
Is the U.S. moving more assets into the region? What is the U.S. prepared to do?
I don't have any force posture changes to speak to today. Obviously, that's an ongoing dynamic process, looking at what the force posture is in the region. As you know, the president already added military and naval assets to the region in recent weeks. Nothing to report or to announce today, but we'll always take a look at the posture to make sure that it's properly designed and organized for the threats that we're facing.
Let's talk about the threat from Iran specifically. We know the Houthis are a militia group backed by Iran. Yeah. Does this increase the risk of a direct confrontation between the U.S. and Iran?
We're not looking for conflict with Iran. We're not looking to escalate, and there's no reason for it to escalate beyond what happened over the last few days by the Houthis. They are the ones that have been escalating. We're not looking for conflict with Iran. That said, we know that Iran supports the Houthis. We know that they supply them with the missiles and the drones, the same things that they've been using to attack shipping. And we have made it very clear Iran should stop that support. We have in the past, and will continue to hold Iran accountable for the support that they give, not only to the Houthis, but to groups like Hamas and Hezbollah and their militia groups in Iraq and Syria. And we're going to do that in concert with our allies and partners.